Well, football fans, we are 3 days away from the NFL draft in Detroit, and I can't wait for it on this mock draft Monday. Before I bring in Dynasty Patrol HQ, please subscribe, like, and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page, where you never know who will be on the clock next. Also, check out the Big D podcast for you audio listeners, Spotify and Apple. So, joining us to go through the entire first round mock draft, to go through an entire mock draft for the first round with me, Dynasty Patrol HQ. So, I can't believe it. We're 3 days away from the draft in Detroit. So, are the Bears officially on the clock yet?
I know, right? It is hard to believe. We are so close. We've waited so long for it, and finally it's here.
Yeah, I mean, seemingly the questions are going to be answered. Caleb Williams will officially be the number one pick in 70 something hours, right?
Are we sure he will be? I've seen some scuttlebutt that JJ McCarthy could go first overall.
Yeah, yeah. Is that only because you're Is that only from your Michigan homerism?
Exactly. That's where I get all my information.
So wait, the Bears are going to draft a guy from Michigan, right?
Yeah, I'm obviously completely kidding, but I have seen like 3 articles saying that it's possible from like an unnamed coach, and I'm like, okay, this must be the coach of the Commanders saying this.
I thought it'd be the coach of the Chargers saying it.
Exactly, Harbaugh.
So, before we go through a mock draft, I just want to talk a few minutes about each one of these quarterbacks. I mean, Caleb Williams. What do you think of Caleb Williams' potential in the NFL?
I mean, I think he's special. I think Caleb Williams is a transcendent talent. I think he's as good as we've seen come out since like Trevor Lawrence. Very polished. I love his play style. Plays that kind of backyard ball like Patrick Mahomes does that we've seen have success in the league. And I'm huge on Caleb Williams. If Caleb Williams can't play football in the NFL, then I don't know what we're doing here.
I mean, Caleb Williams reminds me so much of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. I don't mean the Aaron Rodgers now, but the Aaron Rodgers in his prime, because he's got the arm strength, the mobility, and the ability and the willingness to take chances. Sometimes you don't see quarterbacks take chances. Kirk Cousins against the Giants, but I don't care about his last 5 or 6 games in USC. First off, USC's offensive line wasn't that great. He didn't have a true number one receiver other than Jordan Addison, and USC's defense couldn't stop a cold in Alaska.
Very, very true. USC's defense was just awful.
And Caleb Williams led college in passing 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Caleb Williams, we know one, and you know how many 4,000-yard passes the Bears have in franchise history?
I'm gonna go with 0.
That's going to change with Caleb Williams.
No doubt.
And then the guys who could go 2 and 3, Drake Maye and Jayden Daniels. Tell me a little bit about each one of them.
Okay, I'm a big fan of both guys. Drake Maye, when I watch his film, he kind of reminds me of a Josh Allen type player. I'm a big fan of Drake Maye. Also, what I like about Drake Maye is he didn't have any supporting cast. I mean, you talk about Caleb Williams not having a wide receiver one. I mean, who was Drake Maye throwing to? I mean, absolutely no one. Devontae Walker, who's going to be like a 6th-round pick NFL draft probably. I mean, he had no one to throw to, 0 help, and he still got it done. I love Drake Maye. Like I said, Josh Allen-esque to me. And then Jayden Daniels, I'm a big fan on as well. My only concern with Daniels is we didn't see him do it as a passer until this year. And he had plenty of time before this year to get it done. So that's my only concern with Jayden Daniels. But I'm a big fan. Heisman Trophy winner. He can do it with his legs. He can do it with his arm. Kind of like a Lamar Jackson light. I'm a big fan of Jayden Daniels as well.
I'm a little worried that Jayden Daniels will end up taking so many hits, and it's funny, like Lamar Jackson's injuries have all come from being in the pocket, not from running outside the pocket.
Hmm. Yeah, and so I get that concern because he's kind of an undersized guy. But when you look at college, he didn't really suffer any injuries. I mean, he took plenty of big hits, but he always got back up, kept going. Now, obviously, the NFL is a whole different game, whole different speed. But and he is kind of an undersized guy, but I think he'll be okay.
And then maybe and then a guy you know very well, being a Michigan fan, JJ McCarthy, because I've heard every kind of report on him. You know, he could go top 5 or he could go middle of the first round. I'm like, I think JJ McCarthy reminds me a lot of Alex Smith. I mean, he didn't really throw that much at Michigan. So, what do you think JJ McCarthy does in the NFL?
Yeah, so that's the funny thing. I'm a Michigan alum and I'm a hardcore Michigan fan, and I am not a fan of JJ McCarthy. I've seen pretty much every snap he's taken in college, and I'm just not a fan. I think Alex Smith is the perfect comparison. I think he's got to have the exact right system to succeed. So I think he needs a strong running game. I think he needs a strong defense. And without those things in place, I don't think he'll succeed in the NFL. I think best case scenario is Alex Smith, game manager type quarterback.
I feel like he needs a strong head coach because you know what, Michigan, he wasn't asked to throw the ball much. I mean, heck, he didn't throw the ball the whole second half against Penn State.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
But
that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the best you're going to get out of him is a game manager at the next level.
I mean, but if he ends up with a really good offensive mind, let's say the Minnesota Vikings with Kevin O'Connell, Aaron Jones, 2 good tackles, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson.
Yep,
That-
then he'd be okay. That's what I'm saying. I think he needs to fall into the exact right situation where he's not asked to do too much and where he can just kind of manage the game. And the Vikings would be a perfect fit for that.
And then the Pac-12, the other Pac-12 quarterbacks not named Caleb Williams, Michael Penix and Bo Nix.
So I I think one of them might slip into the first round, even though I don't think they necessarily should. Penix, I like a little bit better than Bo Nix. I think Penix has that arm where he can just he's not mobile, but he'll stay in the pocket and he can pick you apart with his arm. Michigan's defense exposed him, but Michigan's defense exposes everybody. So, I mean, I give him a little bit of a pass on that. He's a good pocket quarterback. He's got a little bit of an injury history, so as long as his medicals clear out, I think he could be successful at the next level from the pocket.
Yeah, I feel like Michael Penix on, but you've got to have a really good offensive line and don't expect him to run out of the pocket. I just look at Penix now as a pure pocket passer.
That's what he is.
And then Bo Nix, I mean, you know, he started what 61 college games, so he knows what he's doing in college. I mean, but that Oregon offense a weird one because he threw a lot of checkdowns and threw a lot of go routes. So
Exactly.
how is that going to translate in the NFL?
Yep. My biggest problem with Bo Nix is that he's already 55 years old.
Well, Penix played 6 years of college, but he was hurt
Yep.
4 years.
Yep.
I mean, Bo Nix. I mean, everybody's going to compare him with Drew Brees, right?
I mean, yeah, but not. I don't really see it.
I mean, it's hard to compare with what one of the not the most accurate quarterbacks in league history, right?
Exactly.
Let me
I
see.
don't really see it when I watch Knicks play. I can see Penix having success in the league, but I don't really see it with Knicks.
He's got to have a really good offensive coach with him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so everybody's doing mock drafts. I mean, it's mock draft Monday, so I figured let's do a mock draft now. We have made some rules. Dynasty will take the even picks. I will take the odd picks, but no trades allowed. So, unfortunately, I can't trade the 17 pick to the 1 or vice versa, or he can't trade 2 for 28. We're doing straight up old school, no trades.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. I will start the draft, and I will make this easy. I will take Caleb Williams from USC. Can you believe? You remember the last time USC had a number one overall pick?
Oh, what, Reggie Bush?
Well, Bush was number two. I think Carson Palmer went and won in 2003.
Oh yeah, Carson Palmer definitely did.
But I think Caleb Williams will be Chicago's first 4,000-yard passer. And if he is, it's not from lack of talent around him.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely think he'll be a 4,000-yard passer, and yeah, they've surrounded him. I mean, they got DJ Moore, they got Keenan Allen now. They've definitely given him the weapons to succeed, and they pick at 9, so they could pick a wide receiver at 9 as well, just to keep stacking it up.
Number two, the Washington Commanders. Who do you want?
All right, Commanders. I will take Jayden Daniels.
So that would be two similar kind of quarterbacks in the Beltway, Lamar and maybe Lamar 2.0, right?
Yep, exactly. Undersized Lamar.
Number three. He tempts me, but in this draft, I will take Drake May because the Patriots need someone who can throw the ball in the wind of Foxborough. I ultimately think the Patriots might look to trade out of here, but Drake May seemingly is too good of a value.
Yep, that's fair. Like we talked about, they need everything starting at quarterback.
So four being the Arizona Cardinals. So I know being a Michigan alum, there's a certain hatred for the school, but are you going to draft the wide receiver from that school?
Of course I am. Give me Marvin Harrison Jr. from that school from up north.
How good can Marvin Harrison be in the NFL?
Amazing. I mean, he's another, like Caleb Williams. He's another transcendent talent. Marvin Harrison Jr. is simply special. Best wide receiver to come out since maybe Jamar Chase, and I think he can be really amazing in the league. I actually like his landing spot with the Cardinals too. Give Kyler Murray a true number one. I like it a lot. I think he can be very good in the league.
I think he's got a lot of Larry Fitzgerald. In fact, they're all four wide receivers who I considered to be camp busts. One was Megatron, one was Julio Jones, one was Jamar Chase, and Marvin Harrison's the fourth guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at five, oh man, I wish we could trade because I would love to trade this pick as the Chargers GM, but now we can't make trades. I will take the best offensive lineman in the draft, Joe Alt from Notre Dame, because I think he's the most consistent tackle of this draft. I don't know if he's super athletic, but Notre Dame puts linemen in the NFL, and Joe Alt be a plug and play tackle, old guard, and play there for a decade plus.
Yeah, I get it. Harbaugh loves his offensive lineman, so I understand the pick. I'm just a little surprised you didn't go wide receiver with them losing Keenan and Big Mike.
That's why I wish I could have moved back because I could have taken a lineman and a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So six, the Giants. Will you draft a wide receiver or draft a quarterback?
All right. So for the Giants here, I didn't expect him to fall to this pick, but now that we're here for the Giants, I'm going to have to go with Malik Neighbors.
I mean, Malik Neighbors has got. I mean, I don't know the comp for Malik Neighbors, but I am worried about the off the field concerns. But man, this guy is stupid good.
He really is.
I just hope he's not Des Bryant though.
Yeah.
Okay, Tennessee at 7. I mean, Tennessee solidified the wide receiver position in the offseason. But Will Levis. But every time I saw Will Levis play, he was defense were kicking the crap out of him. So the Titans need another offensive lineman. I will take how do you say the Penn State tackle's name?
Let me see. Tackle from State. Where do I have him? I'm trying to find him on my board. Let's see here. Oh, you talking about? I think it's like Olamide Fashanu.
Fashanu, yes.
Yes.
I think he is a plug and play left tackle, a position the Titans desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
So at 8, the Atlanta Falcons. Well, unless the NFL makes Atlanta give up its pick for tampering for Kirk Cousins.
No, I think they'll be fine at 8. Give me Dallas Turner, the edge from Bama.
Don't the Falcons always need a pass rusher, and yet they never go pass rusher? Like they need
Correct.
take Kyle Pitts, they take Drake London, they take B. John Robinson. This year they probably take Rome Medusa.
Exactly.
So at 9, I mean, you've got me in a pickle with the Bears because I think the head coach would want Jared Verse, the pass rusher from Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
I know what Caleb Williams would want. And if I'm the Bears, Rome Medusa is too good of a value. You can't give up. You can't have enough wide receivers, and a wide receiver room with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Rome Medusa. Oh gosh!
I know. Just imagine that.
So 10, the Jets.
Jets. So I'm gonna have to go with easily the best tight end in this class, Brock Bowers. Give another weapon for Aaron Rodgers.
How good is Brock Bowers?
Amazing. And he can actually block too.
Yeah. I mean, be honest, I feel like Brock Bowers is one of the 4 or 5 best players in the draft, but people are going to be hesitant about drafting a tight end so early after Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, no doubt. You definitely got that positional issue with him. I agree. I think he's one of the top players in the draft, but he'll slip because he's a tight end. But I think the Jets is a perfect situation for him at 10. They don't have a tight end. Get Aaron Rodgers another weapon. I think it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, especially over the middle of the field because Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Brees Hall, guess what? Get another tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 11, let's see, the Vikings need a quarterback, right? I'm going to take J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, perfect at 11. They definitely back.
Now, before the next pick at Denver, I mean, you being a Bronco fan, is there one guy you want the Broncos to take, whether it be moving up, staying, or moving back?
So we need a quarterback, obviously, terribly. We've got Jared Stidham. The only problem is the only quarterback I'd want us to move up for is like a Drake Maye or a Jayden Daniels, and I don't see that happening. I don't see us moving up that high. Those are the only quarterbacks I'd want us to move up for. So in my dream scenario, we trade with the Patriots, we move up, and then we take Drake Maye. That would be my kind of dream Denver Broncos fan scenario.
That would involve probably giving up next year's one and then some.
Oh, for sure. Would we'd have to give up 12 in next year's one, and then a little bit more. But I'd be willing to do it to go up to 3 to get Drake Maye. So
But
that would be my kind of ideal Broncos draft.
But in this case scenario, Drake May and Jayden Daniels are low off the board. So
They
what?
are. So here's the thing. I really, really, really want to take a different player here, but I feel like we're so desperate at quarterback that we got to reach a little bit, and I'm going to take Michael Penix.
Interesting. You don't take Bo Nix, but you take Penix.
Yep, going with Penix.
Because that's the guy I wanted the Raiders to take at 13.
Yep. Yeah, I think Penix operates out of the pocket perfectly, and I think that'll really work with Sean Payton.
Well, yeah, and Sean Payton, you know what Sean Payton can do with quarterbacks. I mean, Denver's offensive line was a mess 2 years ago, and then last year was what top half of the league.
Yep.
I wish I could trade quarterbacks because in my mock draft I have the Broncos taking Bo Nix and then the Raiders taking Penix. But you stole my guy. Dog you.
That's the whole point of a mock draft.
Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew's winning the AFC West.
Definitely not. I love Gardner Minshew. I really do. He's a fun player. He reminds me of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's a fun guy to root for, but he's definitely not winning the West.
Plus, Gardner Minshew can only play with Shane Steichen as his head coach OC, but that's a story for another day. I will take Bo Nix because I think the Raiders need a long-term answer at quarterback. Aiden O'Connell threw for what, 60-something yards? I mean, the Raiders somehow beat the Chiefs on Christmas Day, and it wasn't because of Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball. So at 14, the New Orleans Saints. How the Saints get out of salary cap, what is a miracle.
Yeah, I think they really badly need offensive line. So I'm going to give them Talise Funga, offensive tackle from Oregon State.
Talisi Fuaga as the left tackle, right tackle.
Talisi Fuaga, okay.
Okay, 15, the Indianapolis Colts are going to, in this scenario, I think the Colts may very well move up for Brock Bowers or one of the wide receivers. But now I'm going to take one of my favorite players in the entire draft, Quinton Mitchell, the corner from Toledo.
Okay, I like him.
4.3 at the combine, and this guy can cover. So Seattle at 16.
Let me see what I had them taking, and let me see if I want to change it at all. Yeah, he's just fallen too far. I'm going to give them Terrion Arnold, quarterback from Bama.
Dadgum, you took my guy at 17.
He fell too far.
The cornerbacks are going in the teens.
I love Terrion Arnold. I think he's the best cornerback, in this draft. So I think he fell too far. I had them mocked to a different pick in my mock, but like I said, with Terrion Arnold falling, I had to do it.
Who do you have the Seahawks taking in your mock?
So in my mock, I had them taking Troy Fa. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. The offensive tackle from Washington.
Yeah, because Furtado played under the new OC there in Seattle.
Yep. So that's initially who I had them taking. But like I said, with Terrion Arnold falling, I had to go with Terrion Arnold.
Rats, you took my pick because I wanted the Jags need cornerbacks, and that's what I wanted. All right. Even though I'm not necessarily the biggest fan, I think the Jags would take Cooper DeJean, cornerback, Iowa.
Okay, I like.
Okay, 18, the Bengals.
All right, Bengals. Give me offensive line to protect Joe Burrow. Keeps getting injured. They need a good offensive lineman. Give me J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle from Bama.
Yeah, Latham is a big guy, but could play anywhere on the O-line. The only problem is, I think Cincinnati's tackles might be bigger than him. So 19. I don't know about you, but I think some guy named Aaron Donald retired. He might be the best interior defensive lineman I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, and I think the Rams need help on the defense. And luckily for this pick, the Rams won't have to. He won't have to move because they'll take a Leatu Latu, the pass rusher from UCLA.
That's funny. In my mock, that's who I had him taking too.
That's who I have too. So
Yep.
20 with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I've got the Steelers going offensive line and Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle from Oklahoma.
Yeah, don't the Sooners always put linemen in the NFL?
Seems like it.
I mean, this guy's potential is off the chart, but he barely played at OU, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 21 in Miami. I think Miami could go a couple different areas. I think Miami could go pass rusher, could go defensive lineman. But I think the middle of the Miami O-line is an issue, especially after losing who was the guard to sign with the Panthers?
Oh, I'm not going to remember.
Robert Hunt, thank you. And of course, Connor Williams may or may not be back coming off a torn ACL. So Miami will take Graham Barden, the lineman from Duke.
Okay. It's a good pick.
22. So that would be the Eagles.
Eagles, let me see here. Ooh, okay. I'm going to have to change it up because I had Cooper DeJean here. Let me see what corner I want.
I have Cooper DeJean at this pick too.
Nice. See, you jumped both of us by taking it with the Jags because I had to take Terry Arnold. So let me see what corner I want. Give me a sec here for the Eagles. Who else do I want? Oh, it's too early for him. Two. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah. Give me Nate Wiggins, cornerback from Clemson.
Yeah. I think in most drafts, these cornerbacks would be off the board in the teens. There's so many linemen and wide receivers and quarterbacks to really view the rankings a little bit.
Yep.
So 23 in Minnesota. I don't know if he'll be this late because Jared Verse to me is a boom or bust guy, but if he hits, this guy could be awful good.
She's taking Jared Verse?
Yep.
Yeah, he's very good. In my initial mock, I had him mocked at 15 to the Colts. So yeah, he definitely fell on ours.
So 24, the Dallas Cowboys.
All right. Jared Verse. Let me see the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my pick here. I got them taking Amarius Mims, offensive tackle out of Georgia.
As speaking of big human beings, that guy is stupid big. What is he like? Isn't he like 6'8", 346?
Something like that. He is massive.
I mean, Georgia's offensive linemen look like they should be on the world's strongest man competition.
Very true.
So 25.
Ooh, the Packers are an interesting team to me because they have so many directions they could go with this pick.
I think there are two areas the Packers need to address: cornerback and tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think cornerback's a bigger need, but Troy Furtado is way too good of a value. Kool-Aid McKinstry's a real interesting pick. I mean, I did a mock draft the other night where he went 16 in front of Taron Arnold, and I'm like, what? But Kool-Aid McKinstry, but Furtado would solidify one of the tackle positions in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good pick. Yeah, I had him going to 16 of the Hawks, like we talked about earlier. So that's a good pick down here at 25.
So the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Okay, Buccaneers. Troy Furtado. Let me see. Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, give me Darius Robinson, the edge out of Missouri.
Interesting. Missouri's got a couple really good defensive players. I think they've got a cornerback who could be a day two pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
the Bucks could definitely use.
and it's Ray Straw Jr. Ray Straw Jr. Yeah, I feel like defense is an area of need. Also defensive linemen.
Mhm.
So 27. The Cardinals already got Marvin Harrison. Uh, I think Byron Murphy slipped too far to me.
Okay.
I think Byron Murphy. I mean, both Texas linemen will be drafted early, and well, one will be a first rounder, one will probably be a second rounder. I think Murphy will be a first rounder.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I like Murphy the Cards.
Now, 20 with the Bills. Well, I don't know about you, but I think you could suit up for the Bills wide receiving core this year.
Exactly. I definitely could. Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel. I think I can run with those guys.
Matt Collins.
Yeah. Mac Hollins. Who? So yeah, with the Bills here, I'm definitely going wide receiver. And oh wow, look who's still there. Okay, I had him going to the Jags in my mock draft, so I'm gonna take Brian Thomas Jr.
I I don't know what to make of Brian Thomas because when I saw him at LSU, he was strictly running nine routes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but Josh Allen can throw the ball through a hurricane, and Brian Thomas might be able to catch it.
Exactly. That's why I think he's a perfect fit here. They definitely need a wide receiver. And like I said, I didn't think Brian Thomas would last this long, but here he is. Perfect weapon for Josh Allen, perfect scheme fit.
Why do you have my Jags taking Brian Thomas at 17?
Because they badly need a wide receiver. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been struggling and they lost Calvin Ridley in the offseason. Who's he going to throw to? Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, and then what else? I mean, they badly need a wide receiver.
But to me, if Jackson's taking a wide receiver, they're not taking Brian Thomas. I think the Jags will move up for one of the big three.
Okay, no, I mean, assuming they don't move up, I mean, I think Brian Thomas is the next best wide receiver on the board after the big three.
And plus, this is the deepest wide receiver draft ever. I mean, you could get a guy like Ricky Pearsall in the second round, or a guy like who's the Roman Wilson from Michigan.
I mean, shit, you could get Troy Franklin in the second round.
Yeah, you think? Yeah. Well, he might be in play for some of these teams late one. I mean, you don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Troy Franklin's not the biggest guy, but Troy Franklin's not the biggest wide receiver, which probably hurts him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 29. The Detroit Lions. Boy, they were so close to the Super Bowl last year.
They
I
really
like,
were.
I like some of the moves getting Colin Davis, getting Davenport, but I think the interior defensive line needs some work. I did sign DJ Reader from the Bengals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this pick, I think the Lions stay in Big Ten country, take Jerzon Newton, the defensive lineman from Illinois.
Okay, yeah, I like him.
So 30 with the Ravens.
The Ravens, I'll kick the coolest name in the draft, Kool-Aid McKinstry, quarterback from Bama.
Yeah, it feels like the Ravens need help on the offensive line and the secondary. And Baltimore's got a strong history of drafting Alabama players. Wonder why.
Exactly.
So 31 with the San Francisco 49ers. I think the 49ers could go offensive line. I think they could draft linebacker. They could draft defensive back. But to me, I think the San Francisco 49ers need another weapon, and San Francisco will draft one of my favorite players in this draft, that being Georgia's Lane McConkey.
Okay, interesting. I like Lamb McConkey, and there's a chance they trade Brandon Ayuk, so I could definitely see that happening.
I'm also projecting that Brandon Ayuk might not be a San Francisco 49er by training camp.
Yeah, yeah, and if that's the case, then they could definitely use McConkey even more.
And so, Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure you really love the Chiefs winning all these Super Bowls, right?
Oh yeah, everyone loves the Chiefs.
Especially in your division, right?
Exactly.
Although you did beat the Chiefs last year when Pat Mahomes looked like he was sick as a dog.
We did. It was wonderful. It was the first time we beat the Chiefs in like 8 years, so it was a good time.
Wasn't that the game when like Kansas City week 2 where Kansas City just gave you the game? Like Peyton Manning kept giving the ball away, and I think Roby ended up getting like a late touchdown in the game. I'm like, how did the Broncos win that game?
Yep. Last time we beat Kansas City, which I hate saying, they're one of our biggest rivals. I hate the Raiders more than I hate the Chiefs, but it's close.
Oh, so who do you have the Super Bowl champs taking at 32?
All right. So here's the thing. I definitely have them taking a wide receiver, and I'm going to go for a Donnie Mitchell here from wide receiver out of Texas. I thought about Xavier Worthy, but the thing is, I think Hollywood Brown is already kind of that Xavier Worthy-esque player. So since they brought in Hollywood, I'm going to give him a Donnie Mitchell for a big-bodied wide receiver.
Yeah, and Donnie Mitchell's not exactly slow. He's a 4-3 guy, bigger wide receiver. Plus, I mean, who knows if and when Rasheed Rice will be suspended.
Exactly. That's another reason I think they need to go wide receiver.
So, all first round mock draft: Caleb Williams, Jane Daniels, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr., Joel, Malik Neighbors, Fashanu from Penn State, Dallas Turner, Roma Duze, Brock Bowers, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, Bo Nix, Luisi Ufaga, Quinion Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, Cooper DeJean, J.C. Latham, Lieto Latu, Tyler Guyton, Graham Barton, Nate Wiggins, Jared Verse, Amarius Mims, Troy Furtado, Darius Robinson, Byron Murphy, Brian Thomas, Jerzon Newton, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Lamb McConkey, and Adonai Mitchell. Any surprises?
Well, biggest surprise to me, I think, is 5 quarterbacks going in them top picks. Michael Penix to the Broncos and Bo Nix to the Raiders. I don't know that we're actually going to see either Michael Penix or Bo Nix go in the first round. So I think that's my kind of biggest surprise from our mock is 5 quarterbacks going so early.
I think we'll see 5 quarterbacks, but I don't know if we'll see 6. I mean, the problem is if like Bo Nix doesn't get if the Broncos don't take Bo Nix or Michael Penix at 12, Denver doesn't have a pick until what 75.
Yeah, we don't have a second rounder.
So there might be a situation where the Broncos move back. Maybe a team decides. Maybe a team like the Colts may think, you know what? If Romaduzzi's there, or Brock Bowers is there, we won him. We'll give you that second round pick.
I could see that, and then we take our quarterback in the second, where he should be taken.
But
What's
then you don't. But then you don't get that 5th year on.
Yeah, that's true. What's your biggest surprise for our mock?
Um, maybe the fact. I don't know. Mean, I mean, in my mock, let me see, 6, 8, 10. Maybe the fact you took Penix in front of Nix because everybody thinks that the Broncos are going to take a quarterback. Bo Nix would have been the guy
Mm-hmm.
because of the Drew Brees connection, and Penix fits the Raiders because Al Davis would love a quarterback who can throw the ball down the field.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Devontae Adams would like check down Charlie under center.
I don't think so either. But that's the thing. I like Penix so much more than Knicks. That's why I had to go with Penix there.
I mean, are there any big discrepancies in your mock draft compared to this draft?
Well, like I said, I have your Jags taking Brian Thomas Jr. at 17, and we had BTJ fall all the way to the Bills at 28. So that's kind of a big gap. And then let's see. In my initial draft, I had the Raiders taking Terran Arnold at 13. He fell a few picks. I had Jared Verse going at 15 to the Colts, and we had Verse fall all the way to the Vikings at 23. Those are probably the biggest ones.
Yeah, maybe Darius Robinson because I've seen a lot of drafts of him in the first round. I mean, what spot's going to be the most interesting to watch on Thursday night?
Well, I think we know what the top three are doing. I think the Cardinals at 4 are probably the most interesting to watch because we see if they take Marvin Harrison Jr. or if they trade out and a team like the Vikings or the Broncos trades up for JJ. So I think the most intrigue is at that 4 pick for the Cardinals.
Because the Cardinals don't need draft picks. They've already got like 2 1s, a couple 3s. Like the Cardinals don't need draft picks.
Yeah, but so you think they're just going to stand pat and take Harrison? Because they're the biggest trade target I see in the mock drafts where they allow trades is somebody trading up to 4 for JJ.
Could a team trade at 5 because the Chargers really feel like they need a lot, other than maybe pass rush, and even then, Bosa and Mac aren't exactly the youngest guys, so I feel like the Chargers will move back.
Yeah, I could see the Chargers moving back from 5. They need a wide receiver so bad. I mean, there's no way they're gonna go to the start of the season with Quentin Johnston, who was terrible last year as their wide receiver 1. They need a wide receiver so badly.
I mean, if the Cardinals decide, you know what, we're going to move back, maybe the Vikings give them an extra 1 next year,
Mm-hmm. I could
and
see that.
then I mean, the Cardinals did this last year. They went back from 3 to 12 and then moved up. This moved to 6. Could the Cardinals decide, you know what, we'll give 11, 23, and something else, and maybe draft Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison. At least we get a wide receiver then.
Yeah, I can see that.
But then again, if the Cardinals trade the pick, I think the Chargers take Marvin Harrison because Jim Harbaugh probably thinks I couldn't stop Marvin Harrison the last 2 years.
Yeah, definitely true.
And decide, you know what? I'll call it a day. We'll take the best wide receiver in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I definitely see the Chargers taking a wide receiver, whether it's Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors, based on how the draft goes. But yeah, if the Cardinals move out of that 4 spot so somebody can come up and take JJ, then I definitely think the Chargers will take Marvin Harrison Jr., no doubt.
And then, then if that happens, the quarterback market changes because we might not have one until probably 12 because I don't think any team, I mean, the Giants aren't going to take Bo Nix or Michael Penix.
No, definitely not.
All right, so thanks for hopping on Dynasty Patrol. This mock draft went very well. A few surprises, but you know, every year somebody's going to slip in the draft. Somebody's going to be drafted higher than we thought. I mean, nobody thought Christian Gonzalez would go to the Patriots in the middle of the first round last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's always going to be surprises.